This is the most dominant reaction bait in the world right now. This is the Z-Man jackhammer chatterbait, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you guys how I rig this thing, what rod and reel I'm using to fish it, and how to actually fish the chatterbait so you can catch some bass. So I've got the Z-Man jackhammer chatterbait here. I have it in the green pumpkin shad color. I don't know if you can see that. And I have it in a 1/2 ounce. If you're looking to get started with a chatterbait, I highly recommend either going 3/8 ounce or a 1/2 ounce. You can make both of those work in a wide variety of scenarios. So both of those are honestly a really good thing to pick up just to get started. If you're unfamiliar with chatterbaits, you might be asking yourself, what even is a chatterbait? Chatterbait, in its simplest terms, is a bladed jig. You can see here, you've got the jig head. Get my finger out of the way of the jig head. And you have, you know, your traditional hook, you got your skirt, everything the same as a regular jig. The thing that separates it is that blade. As it moves through the water, this blade is going to thump back and forth, creating a chatter sound in the water, hence the name. That's going to attract fish, provoke reaction strikes, and this is one of the best things for covering water. This has been one of the most successful lures recently in pro bass fishing tournaments. It's really changed the game. So many of the guys who put the most fish in the boat rely on this to catch them their fish. Now I throw my chatterbaits on this Lew's American Hero Baitcaster combo rod. I bought it as a combo for around, I think, $130 from Dick's. It was my first baitcaster and I've been loving it. The rod is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action rod. The reel here has got a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. I pretty much exclusively throw chatterbaits on this rod. It seems to have worked really for me. You know, some people might say that gear ratio is a little bit quick for something that's moving through the water, but I found that I have had a lot of success with it. It's really worked for me. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is what I use. Now, aside from the chatterbait itself, the next most important part is your trailer. I never throw a chatterbait without a trailer. It just gives it a little bit more action. Now, you might be saying it can't really matter that much, but I've found that, and I'll get to it in a second, this is one of the trailers I use. It's a 2.75 chunk crawl from Yum. Now, I put this on here, and I'll show you guys how to rig it in a second, but I found that, you know, maybe I'll get snagged, or like a fish may like bite one of these claws off, giving it none of that extra action, and I don't realize it because I'm just fishing and, you know, I'm not paying attention, being lazy, and I won't be getting bites, and I'll be like, oh, wait a second, you know, the claws came off. So I'll go put a new one on with the claws, and then 1 or 2 casts later, I'm getting bit or hooking up on a fish. So anecdotally, I found that the trailer and that little bit of extra action really does make a difference. Now, as far as rigging these things on, this is the 2.75 inch chunk crawl. So this is going to be a little bit on the more compact side. Once I rig this on, and you'll see here in a second, only really these claws are going to be exposed to wiggle around in the water and give it that action. The rest of the body of this is going to be completely on the hook. So this is going to swim through the water like this. I want this, the claws, to be up and down, if that makes sense. So when I rig this on, this entire thing, the entire body is going to be on the hook. So I'm going to put it right in there at the middle and just keep working it up straight and trying to keep it as straight as possible and poke that hook out right at the top of that, and then just work it on. And I know that because I've done this a couple times. You might have to, you know, measure and kind of experiment a little on your own to figure that out. But as you can see there, that entire body's on there. And then when the lure is like this, you can see those claws there at the very bottom. Just give it a little bit more action, moves a little bit more water, and the fish just can't help themselves. I've caught a lot of, this summer, actually, smallmouth using this exact setup. The other type of trailer that I love to run on my chatterbaits is this here. This is the Strike King Rage Bug, 4 inches. I believe this is green pumpkin color, as you can see. This is something, this exact setup actually, with the jackhammer, and then I have it in the green pumpkin shad, and then I put this exact green pumpkin Rage Bug on as the trailer. I have caught a good number of largemouth using this exact setup. It really works. I've caught some big ones too. Same thing here. You're rigging this on. You're just putting that hook through the middle. like that. Bam. As you can see, that is hanging a little bit below the skirt there. And the good thing about these is that these have bait keepers, little hooks. So I just kind of press it in to make sure it's going to stay there on that hook. But yeah, as you can see there, that's going to move a lot of water. It's going to be a lot of action. And in the right conditions, bass cannot resist this, I'm telling you. Now, people love to overcomplicate color when it comes to fishing. Oh, you need this lure for this circumstance. I don't really feel like that's necessary, especially if you're just starting out. Sure, when you have tons of experience and you're really trying to, you know, get super advanced in your techniques and everything, go for it. But if you're just trying to start and, you know, you just normally throw Texas rigged Senkos, nothing wrong with that, it's GOAT. But you want to, like, you know, dive a little bit off the deep end to throwing some more fun lures, some reaction style stuff. All you got to know is that if it's dirty water and it's hard visibility in that water and the fish are having a hard time seeing, throw black and blue. It provides a really good silhouette and it allows the bass to track it. If you're in a little bit clear water and you think the bass can see your lure, do a more natural presentation. I love the green pumpkin shad because it can match either type of forage that's in your water. You know, you have like the white, the gray, the black, and then you have, you know, the green pumpkin style. So I find it is a really good all-encompassing color. Stick with those two. That's really the only two I throw. I think they both do a fantastic job. I don't really see that it's absolutely necessary to get more in depth than that. That's a really good starting place, and if you've never thrown one before especially, just start with that and see where it gets you. And if you end up wanting to make a change or add some new colors to the inventory, go for it, but you can't go wrong with these to start. Whether you've never used a chatterbait before, or maybe you have, but you just weren't sure exactly what was going on as far as the color, the trailer, the weight, all that kind of stuff, I hope this video was helpful to you. Like I said, if you've never used one before, I highly recommend it. Go out, give these setups a try. I've had a lot of success with them, especially this spring and summer. The bass are eating this above a lot of other things I've found. So go ahead and give it a try. Go catch some fish and have some fun.